Yeah.
I grew up watching all the immigrants who came to America
Yeah.
and made something. Were the biggest names. They made it, and I thought to myself, I've always like loved what they did. And so my journey really started with the NFL. I dreamed about going to the NFL. Like Lou, you know,
Yeah.
we all know we dreamed
Yeah.
about going to the NFL, but I had no plan when I got to the NFL. I had no plan in my head. Like, all right, now that when I get to the NFL, I want to play for X amount of years. I want to at least become a Pro Bowler like 3 times. Um, I didn't have no plan. I had no financial plan at all. I didn't know how much I was gonna get. Once I got my first check, man, that mug. I had no skills on how to deal with money, so I just started giving it away, and I was only comfortable making a college stipend. So I was trying to get down to my comfort level because so I had no idea what to do when I got to the NFL. Um, when I was at Cleveland, I found myself just going to practice every day and lifting weights and just watching film. And I come home and it's about 3 o'clock, and I'm thinking to myself, um, I don't feel like I've done anything today.
Wow.
I just pressed fast forward on my life.
Wow.
If I can do this for free. If they really wanted me to, they don't have to pay me. I'll just go. I love watching tape. I can watch that any time of the day. I can break it down. I can watch infinite tape. I can go and lift weights and run because I love it, and I love the smell of grass. I love hitting. I love it all. But nothing was challenging me. There's no challenge to it anymore. And so I thought to myself, I want to do something else. What would challenge me? And so I looked at acting. Um, Obviously, financially, it'd be great. That's you'd be top dog in America, but you can also leverage that for something else, which that's the goal in the end. But also to be able to use my personality. I've always resorted back to the warrior guy for the football thing, always cueing myself, like getting into that to survive. I would always tell myself to do that stuff to perform. I'd get myself into that state to perform, to survive. But what would it look like to not do that? Just to use something on the inside and to use that skill. Um, and so I just started rock bottom, man. I just didn't want to play football anymore.
Yeah.
It's not a challenge to me anymore. I want to go do something else to challenge a different part of me, and it's great, man. I'm struggling, but I'm growing, man. I'm growing. The man in the mirror is changing, um, and I'm really happy about it. The path that I'm on, man. It just makes sense. We were speaking earlier about manifesting, like what your destiny, kind of. And that's just what I did. I told myself I wanted to be an actor a couple years ago. I said I was going to go down to L.A. and live in my truck. Something happened where I was praying to God, and then He gave me a different route. I stayed up in Sacramento for like 2 more years, and boom, out of nowhere, I get this call. You know how many people are in this field, strength and conditioning job, that they're not just sitting on their couch. That I had nothing. I had no experience at all. I was not certified, nothing.
Wow.
My only thing was that I love to train.
Yeah.
And that's what my boss resorted. I think that's what he trusted me, giving me this job, was that my love for the weights, for running and all that would eventually, it'll cover for itself. I do everything to become like certified.
Right.
But now I'm here. Like my initial goal, I'm here, and everything feels right. Everything just feels right. I'm in a perfect position to leverage myself towards an acting career, and that's that. I mean, if you want to talk about like technique and stuff like that, we can shoot it up.
Doug, what do you do for training? Because if you want to become a faster, stronger guy, you go in the weight room and you do speed training. What do you do to be a better actor?
You gotta read scripts. You gotta watch movies. You gotta watch TV shows, and you're not watching it. You gotta watch it with different eyes.
Right.
Like you're looking at somebody. You're looking at how they deliver lines, their voices. When I'm reading scripts, mainly Shakespeare, man, because every great actor does Shakespeare. So I read Shakespeare. Never acting the words. You're trying to figure out what the hell the writer's saying. Like, what the hell is the author saying? You read these words and then you're trying to give it real. Like right now, I'm speaking to you guys in a real cadence and I'm making good eye contact with everything. This is, but the best actor in the world can't do this. This is real, and we're trying to do this, but it's really hard. So there's different techniques with the camera about how to position yourself to make the picture look good.
I like that.
How do you make yourself look good too?
Yeah. So I'm just being 100% like real right now. I don't even want to like acknowledge the camera, but just being real. That's what my teacher was telling me. Once people see your realness, that's what they'll pay a movie theater ticket for, to see your realness. They're paying for you to go and inspire them. And the football cannot do that. The football, they don't show football in the Philippines. They don't show football in the freaking the slums of Africa. But they'll show movies. Like, they know who Rambo is.
Right.
Like, you know, my parents were in my grandparents, they don't speak English, but when they know Rambo, they watch the movie and they know Stallone, and like, football can never bring me that, but Hollywood can.
Yeah, it sounds like you can influence people on a greater scale.
100%.
For sure. Rather than football. Football is just American. I saw something, Tom Brady, 9 million followers on Instagram. That's a lot. You saw the same thing? Guess how much Ronaldo has? Cristiano
50?
Ronaldo.
200?
It's like 250, something stupid. Like, I wouldn't have thought of before. I saw that on Twitter. I'm like, sheesh. It just kind of puts scale into perspective.
Wow.
But no, I think that's cool because a lot of people, for sure, you get really good at something. Like, you're in the NFL, you're top 0.5% at short craft. That's something to be very proud of. Play D-line in the NFL, it's a huge deal. And then, not necessary to say just drop it, whatever, but to say, okay, let me start a new craft that I know nothing about and start from zero. And there's going to be growing pains, and that's okay because I'm going to keep getting better every day, and I'm going to get knocked down and just get up. I think that's a very powerful message because a lot of people, they just want to do what they're good at and keep doing it because it feels good.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure your first like month or two acting, probably even still, right? Because people have been acting their whole life. And so you're trying to reach a level that, you know, Leonardo DiCaprio sets.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you straight up. When I went to Chicago, they signed me to an active contract. I was on the active roster, and I see my first paycheck. After taxes, I was getting paid $15,000 a week. Wow. I still have those paycheck stubs at the house, and it changed everything. But to walk away from it, I thought to myself, you know, I don't want $15,000 a week. I think I want $1 million a month. Give me that. Yeah. Give me, you know, The Rock makes
right.
$20 million a movie. Give me that. And he probably makes 2 movies a year. That's 40 a year.
And that dude makes like 8 a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
he's a grinder.
Yeah.
Oh, he's built different though, right? Because I think he has that football mentality, which you can bring.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart too. I don't know if he's been an athlete, but
I'm just saying,
no
like, why settle for less? Why don't you just go see what the heck you can do?
That. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm Mormon. I'm of the LDS faith. When I was playing for the Cardinals, I went and seen one of the leaders of our church. His name was Elder Todd D. Christofferson. He was speaking. When you're called to the office of apostleship, you have to drop all of your work, and every single breath of life is dedicated towards advancing the Lord's church. Is everything about it. That's your job for the rest of your life. I mean, obviously you get a stipend, but that's it. Whatever you did professionally is over with. And he was the guy who was like introducing him was saying, oh yeah, he was on the board of some bank and this and that. And I was like, dang, he was a big money guy, big smart guy and stuff like that. And I was thinking, and he came up, Elder Christofferson, he came up and he said, you know, as I listen to you tell about my life, I think to myself, I kind of regret not doing more, because once you're called to that calling, you can't go back and become a business guy or whatever. And so I think to myself, man, you know, we're on earth for such a short time.
Yeah.
What the heck am I capable of?
Yeah.
give it a shot.
That's
Let's shoot for the moon. Yeah, let's go for it all.
Yeah.
I love that. You realize you have a finite amount of time